Hey, what's up guys? Not Rackals here. Some of you might remember a few months ago I remade Hustwood because I was bored and a lot of people don't like the map. So today I remade Town because I was bored and a lot of people don't like the map. The first thing I'll do to start us off is just actually fly up and give an aerial view of what I've done, because essentially I've just made it a lot smaller. So anywhere where you see this sort of like tile pattern, it is inbounds, and anywhere where it's not, like that stone, is out of bounds. So essentially, it's just a big square. So you can see it goes inside that building there, through that grassy patch, and then down all the way through here, then down through this grassy patch, and then along that wall, and back to where we started. So it is just a big square with a lot of things in the way. There are currently 9 spawn points, which means this map would probably be for 9 players. It's kind of hard to say how well it would play with 9. I might still go up to 10, but I'm not really sure where I'd put a 10th spawn point anyways, so whatever. The first thing that you'll probably notice here is the wall. Normally this pathway does go all the way down and then around here. In fact, normally this pathway is even longer than this, but I took out a middle section here and basically just stuck them together. There's usually a much bigger distance between these two buildings, and also this building is longer. Normally, I've shortened the building itself. You can see as well over on this side, I don't think these two are normally touching. Now, this spawn point is obviously new. It would just be facing this way outwards into this sort of area. Otherwise, this area would be pretty dead. This pathway actually normally does exist, except for the fact that it kind of is really windy originally, to the point where, say you were here and you wanted to get to the other end of it, it would be like 3 times faster to just run around this way as opposed to like go through the windy bit. I'm not sure why it was built like that, but it's a lot more straightforward now, and you can get to mid much easier from it, and there's also a spawn point right down there. Also, there's a staircase on this side. Before, it just sort of dropped off into that little skinny alleyway, but now it's over here connected to this spawn point, which is also new. So it's just over in that corner, like an aerial view. I put the spawn point here again just because I felt like it actually worked really well with the way that this is formatted now. I also moved this building over to the left, probably like 5 blocks or so. I think normally this pathway is quite a bit skinnier. So I moved this whole building over. So this corner over here is essentially all the same. There's that regular spawn point that's normally there, but there's a new spawn point that I put here because this one particular room has always sort of bugged me. It always felt like unfinished and very useless to me. That was a spawn here. So it connects pretty nicely over there, or you could go through this way. And as you can see, there is a staircase here, which there's normally not. Usually the only way to get up to this area is through these 2 staircases over here. So now it connects nicely, and you can get to it up here way easier, or you'd have to run all the way around. Also, this area is considerably smaller. Normally from this entrance you'd have to run outwards, probably at least out to like here, I think, to get past this wooden wall over here. And then also lengthwise it's considerably shorter as well. Normally there's like, I think 5 or so of these windows. Now there's only the 3, with this launch pad being the 3rd one, of course. And wall is slightly changed. This is a super small change, but I figured I'd mention it. This wall over here is more short now, and like I've kind of broke it out more than usual so that you can dash onto it and get over to this section with relative ease. I don't know if anyone would want to do that, but it's an option now because I just thought it was nice for a nice quick way to do it, because again, from here your options to get over there are sort of limited. You have to go through that awkward little building or like all the way around. The spawn point is the same. This spawn point I might have already mentioned earlier, but whatever. It's in the same position as like one of the newish ones that Kecker added. And it's also, you might notice that there's normally a tunnel right about around here, like in between these 2 buildings. There would be the tunnel system, or one of the entrances. I decided to remove that completely just because I felt like it was not needed at all, considering, you know, it wouldn't be faster or helpful in any way, considering the size of the map now. I mean, even in the regular map, they're not fast or helpful because they're so skinny that you just can't avoid getting shot by someone. Yeah, those have been taken out. And also, like I said, I took a big section out of this middle. So these buildings are like way closer together than they normally would be. I think this fence would normally extend probably like 3 times as long as it currently is. It would be quite a bit longer. Going over here, this spawn point is in the same position. This part of the map is like a tiny bit smaller. This spawn point's in the same position. and this spawn point's in the same position. And I think that's pretty much everything. Main reason that I made this map smaller is just because by default, you actually can't see players down at that end of the map. So the goal is now you should be able to see each other from like here to that box on the left, no problem. So you won't be constantly taking blind shots down the middle anymore. The same problem also existed down this hallway, but again, I've blocked it off. You can see this whole section here. What would normally be here is inaccessible, and also just generally smaller. I think there's normally like a weird door in the wall here. Don't know if anyone's ever noticed that, because it doesn't really look like it unless you're like far away from it. Oh yeah, that's the last thing I wanted to mention. Normally this aqueduct looking thing is like broken in the middle, but because of the way that I've done it here, it's a little bit janky, I'm not gonna lie. I just made this one arch like longer than it normally would be. Well, I guess technically there's not normally one there because it's broken. So I think there would be like one extra pillar or so in the middle of this with the no connection to the top. And yeah, that should be pretty much everything that I wanted to mention. So if you want to download this map for yourself, and you can do whatever you want with it, I don't really care. I did actually consider like making it so you could access either the inside of this building or like the roof somehow, because obviously the map's very flat currently. But in the end, I couldn't really think of a good way to implement it. So if you want to try for yourself, go for it. Again, link in the description to the download for this, and as well, link in the description to my video on my remake of Hustwood if you have not seen that. I think, yeah, so that's going to be it. Thank you guys for watching. If you see this, I'm probably going to owe you $27.